Life is only as good as your mindset. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tournament Talk. And I wanted to address you guys today about something that I know many of you are going through and or at least have gone through before. And if you're not going through it right now, you'll probably go through it soon. I hate to be a buzzkill, but it's going to happen. And that is when you go through a long period of time where you're just not feeling it. And you go out and you practice and you work really hard and you're going through a long slump. Now, this is when you really got to stick to that quote that I said at the beginning. Life is only as good as your mindset. And this is a quote that I feel like I constantly have to tell myself daily. Because if I don't remind myself it, then I will start thinking negatively about my performance on the court or in tournaments, and it's just something that you really have to hold on to. So I hope you guys write that quote down, put it on a sticky note on your mirror, whatever you gotta do, because this is something that I'm sure affects many of us. So I was out on the court today practicing with my brother. And I was just talking to him about how I've been having a hard time getting back to where I was. Now, I was playing at the height of my game, I felt, a few months ago at Nationals. And I played really, really well, and I made it to the finals. And this tournament I played right after getting back from my first 15K. And I was feeling on top of the world. I was having a good time. I knew what I needed to do, and I felt like everything just kind of clicked. Finally, after all the hard work, I feel like things had finally clicked. Unfortunately, through all that stuff and all the hard work that I went through and everything finally clicking, I had kind of developed an overuse injury on my knee, and this was a really hard time for me. I had to take time off, and I was really, really frustrated because I finally felt like I was getting somewhere and that all my hard work was finally paying off, right? And I had to take time off. I went through this phase of just depression. I was tired all the time. I couldn't play tennis. I was just wrecked. Now, I'm not talking about that specific time period, although I could do another podcast episode on it if you guys want. Just let me know. But that's a different story. So I finally started feeling good again when my injury subsided, and I had been getting it worked on, and I had gone straight back to practicing, and I knew that I wouldn't be as consistent as I was, or as great as my playing style as I was back at Nationals, because I had taken a big break. And unfortunately, I just didn't think that it would take this long. So I'd say maybe 3 months ago is when that little injury happened, and maybe 2 months ago is when I finally started to train again and start playing tournaments. Maybe it was a month and a half. I'm not really sure on the timeline, to be honest. But I finally was ready to practice again. I started training hard. I started to sign up for tournaments, and I was hoping that it wouldn't take long to get back to where I was. I was hoping so badly that I didn't lose what I had clicked with and connected with that consistency and with hitting really, really well. And just a series of bad days and bad practices and just feeling like I lost my touch got me to this morning where I just kind of broke down, and I was like, I have this pre-qualifier for a 25K that I'm playing this weekend, and I had to bounce out of my Georgia tournament, and I have been practicing and I've been working really hard, and I'm not where I was, and I just feel like I lost it. I feel like I lost what I had, and it's very, very frustrating process for a player to go through something like this. And I don't know if I'm more so giving this podcast as a pep talk to you or a pep talk to myself, but you know, I have to connect with what I said at the beginning. I have to say, Life is as good as your mindset. And right now, my mindset is trash. And I am thinking about how good I used to be a few months ago, and how I'm not as good, and how I just wish that I was where I am going to be in the future, and I'm not focusing on now. I'm working really hard, and I'm going out and I'm practicing, and I'm doing the routine and everything that I have been doing before, but it's not catching up to where I was, and it's very, very, very frustrating, as I'm sure many of you guys can relate to. Well, unfortunately, there's not much that I can say as to, make you feel like all warm and fuzzy inside about this slump that you're going through. However, I can say that life is as good as your mindset, and right now, if you're thinking about how good you were or how good you want to be, and you're focusing on only negative things that are happening to you right now, or have been happening to you for the past few months of while you've been practicing, and how nothing's been going the way that you wanted, I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure that that's not helping. And you gotta just throw the negativity out. Here's something I can tell you, and something that I'm trying to implement every day. Look for just one amazingly positive thing that you did well during your practice, or during your tournament, or during your match, okay? Don't focus, and don't make the focus of, how your practice went about, oh, I need to work on this, and I need to work on this, and I need to be more consistent, and I need to do this and this and this. There is hundreds and thousands of things that players need to work on, and we know that. But give yourself a pat on the back, because you're out there trying hard and you're practicing. And you have to understand that this slump or phase or rut you're going through is short, hopefully. And if it's a long one, you just listen to this as many times as you can. The mindset is the key. You have to think positively. What did you do well today? What did you do well during your match? Is there anything? If you feel like there was nothing, you need to keep thinking, because there was something. And for instance, for today, I was playing my brother. I was telling him, I want to improve my strategy, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. We focused on one, and I was trying to hit the ball deeper, and it wasn't really working, and I couldn't get a rhythm. But here's a good thing that I did today. My slices that I've been working on for the past couple weeks are finally starting to get easier. So when I was rallying with him, I was able to hit some really good slices. So, hey, that's a really positive thing. And honestly, I feel really good just saying that out loud. So think to yourself just one positive thing from your practices, and just remember that you have to just throw that negativity away. Use it as criticism, of course, but don't make your whole don't make your whole mind about the negative. I'd love if we all could focus mainly on the positive. It's really hard to do, and I get that. But just make sure that you're thinking about a good thing, and make it overwhelmingly more of a talking point than the negative things, okay? So I hope that helps, and I hope that I could relate to somebody today. If you know somebody that is going through this slump or this phase just like I am, just share this episode with them. I'm sure it could really help boost their spirits. And just remember and remind yourself daily, I swear, make that sticky note, put it on your mirror. Life is as good as your mindset, okay? All right, thank you guys so much for joining me on another episode of Tournament Talk, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.